Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the NM podcast, and it is game week 7 of the predictions this week, and they're coming thick and fast. We try our best every week, but this Premier League this season just seems to be throwing in many spanners. So, let's give it a good crack. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and yes, another week of score predictions for the Premier League, game week 7, and I'm joined by the ever-present Mr. Nathan Lavery over on the other screen. How are we doing tonight, Nath?
Very well, thank you. Very well, yourself?
Well, thank you, very well. And we'll kickstart with the first game of the weekend, Wolves v Palace, and I've gone for a solid 1-0 Wolves. I don't think there's going to be much in it. Palace seem to be a little bit hit and miss. Every week I predict them to get beat. They seem to turn me around and slap me around the face. They seem to always pull a result out of the bags. But I don't think they'll get one at Wolves. Wolves have been a little bit hit and miss as of late. I think the players are still taking time to bed in. So I've gone for a 1-0 Wolves. Over to you.
I've also gone for a Wolves win. I've gone for 2-0. I think, like I said, Palace have been very inconsistent. Every time you write them off, they seem to pull a performance out the backside and they get a result. Wolves, like I said, still once again inconsistent, but I think that's more of a case of, like I said, Wolves' players needing time to bed in, as opposed to like any lack of quality issues, which you could argue that's what Palace suffer from. But no, I fully expect Wolves to go ahead and win today, so I've gone, win at the weekend, so I've gone for Wolves 2, Palace 0. So the second game is Sheffield United versus Manchester City at Bramall Lane, and I've gone for a 4-1 win to Manchester City. I think this will finally be the weekend where Manchester City, finally get running on all cylinders. They have been a bit hit and miss. They've played in patches well this season, but not really over a 90-minute period. I think things will click on the weekend. I can see them blowing Sheffield United away. Sheffield United, you're always going to get a solid performance out of Sheffield United. Win, lose or draw, they're going to put a shift in. But I just think City will be too much for them on the day. So I'm for Sheffield United 1, City 4.
I've gone for Man City 2-0. I think it'll be comfortable for them. Sheffield United are not scoring many, but they're not conceding many at the same time. Whether that be second season syndrome or I'm not entirely sure. Man City, not convincing as of yet, and Aguero's injured again. So I think they're going to, they're not going to be, I don't think they're going to run riot up in Yorkshire, but I think they'll get a result. I think they'll get a comfortable 2-0. So I've gone for Manchester City 2, Sheffield United 0. Next game, I've gone for a 3-1 away win for Chelsea up at Burnley. Again, Burnley really have not hit this season with on the ground running, have they? They're struggling with injuries, but it's slowly kind of coming back in. Slowly players are coming back. But Chelsea, I don't know, they're scoring a lot of goals, but they're conceding a lot of goals. Again, inconsistent. But I fancy them to get a 3-1 win. I think Burnley are going to be in trouble this year, and I've said it every week. I think this could be the season that they finally drop through that relegation spot and into the Championship. So I've gone for Chelsea 3, Burnley 1.
I have gone for Chelsea 4, Burnley 2. Now, Chelsea are coming into this game off the back of 2 clean sheets against Sevilla in the Champions League and Manchester United at the weekend. Now, they have been solid, but at the detriment of their attacking play, they've not looked like scoring really in either of those games. I don't know. I don't think they've got the right balance yet in the team. It seems when they try and be so, cautious at the back, they lose a lot of what they have going forward. I can see them reverting back to type a little bit at the weekend. I think, because it's only Burnley, it's not Sevilla, it's not Manchester City. I don't think they'll be as defensively aware. I can see them actually getting caught by 2 set pieces, typical Sean Dyche goals, crosses into the box. I can see them getting caught out by something like that. That said, I think going forward, there will be, they're always a threat with the players they've got, and I think they'll score a lot of goals. So I've gone for Burnley 2, Chelsea 4. Moving on then to the next game in Merseyside, it is the champions Liverpool against West Ham. I've gone for a 3-1 win to Liverpool. Now, West Ham have been on a wonderful run recently. I mean, you pick up the points they've picked up. Let's go through it just quickly. Leicester win, Wolves win, Manchester City draw. Some insane results in there. And even played Arsenal before that and only narrowly missed out. So, really firing all cylinders at the moment, West Ham. Liverpool, on the other hand, a bit hit and miss. You don't really know what Liverpool side you're going to get. There seems to be a bit of fragility in there, even more so now, the injury of Virgil van Dijk. But I still think those front three, if they're on song, they're going to put a lot of teams to the sword this season. And I just have a feeling it'll be quite. I think a lot of people look at this game the way the two teams have been playing and think it could be a banana skin for Liverpool. I don't know. I just think it won't be like that at all. I think it'll just actually revert to type, and I can see Liverpool winning quite comfortably 3-1.
Yeah, I've gone for a controversial one, actually. I've gone for Liverpool 2, West Ham 2. Like you say, West Ham have been in fine form, picking up cracking results where it's our lot. Leicester getting the draw against Man City, the draw against Spurs, and also beating Wolves. They're in good form. They're scoring goals. Okay, they kept some couple of clean sheets against our lot on Wolves, but they're a bit of a freak result against Spurs, shall we say, with the last 50 minutes. But Liverpool haven't been convincing at all, and the main man's out, Virgil van Dijk. They've got a Champions League game as of, I think it's tonight. It's tonight. So I don't think it's going to be straightforward. They've not convinced me yet, Liverpool. They've not been that kind of destroying sides like they were last year. So I've gone for a Liverpool 2, West Ham 2. And back down into the West Midlands, I've gone for Aston Villa 1, Southampton 2. Southampton seem to be picking up a head of steam now. Villa, we spoke about the false position last week. They've had a bit of a fairly easy start, freak result against Liverpool. But then they kind of they come back crashing down to reality, didn't they, with the Leeds result on last Friday. So I think Southampton will go there and get a result. They play some good stuff, Southampton. Villa, I'm not convinced that defence has all of a sudden become the best defence in the Premier League. So I think it's only a matter of time until they start conceding goals. So I've gone for an Aston Villa 1, Southampton 2. Over to you, Nate.
Yeah, I also fancy Southampton to go up to Villa Park and cause an upset. I mean, an upset in terms of what the table says. I've gone for 1-0 Southampton. Like you said, Villa's bubble seems to have burst. I think it will continue to deflate at the weekend. I think Southampton will go there off the back of some good results. You know, Southampton, other than that Spurs game where they're a bit kamikaze-like in their defending, they've really been competitive, really given everyone a good game. And I like Southampton. I like Hasenhüttl. I think they're very solid citizens. And I don't know, Villa, like you said, I think it was a bit of a false position there. And people, were saying things like Champions League and all this nonsense. And it was never going to be the case. And it's quite satisfying to see now the reality check sort of check in. And I hope that reality check continues on the weekend. So I've also gone for Southampton 1, Aston Villa 0. Going up north then, to Newcastle, we've got Newcastle United versus Everton. I've gone for a 2-1 away win to Carlo Ancelotti's men. Off the back of a bad result against Southampton and they kind of nicked a point against Liverpool. Can they bounce back with a win? I think so. I've gone for 2-1. I think they have got undoubted quality. Calvert-Lewin, I think he's still very dangerous. I think Rodriguez in the middle there with Decore and Allen. It's a good balance. It seems to work. Are they going to win the league? No. Did people get a bit ahead of themselves? Yes. Are they still a very good team on their day? Absolutely. Newcastle, are they a very good team on their day? Not really. Did they nick results here and there? Yeah. So I don't know. I just fancy Everton. I think they've just got a lot more about them than Newcastle. Newcastle, they seem to be quite flat. I don't know what it is. I know they brought in the new players and they had a good result on the opening day of the season, but since then they struggled to have really anything to get excited about on Newcastle, point of view. So I've just gone for Everton 2, Newcastle 1.
Yeah, I've gone for Newcastle 2, Everton 2, and with Luca Dean and both Richarlison banned, I just think I think what I find with Everton is a very similar kind of similar type of side to the Leicester side that won the league, and I think once they lose a couple of players, key players, I don't think they've got that depth to kind of carry on that form that they've been producing so far. I think they'll go up to Geordie Land, and Newcastle, they always seem to pull something out of the bag against the better sides of the league, shall we say. I fancy it to be an open game. I think Everton will go there and obviously attack and want the win. I think that'll leave them a bit open for Newcastle to capitalise. Callum Wilson, Ryan Fraser, they've got a bit of pace about them, Newcastle. So Steve Bruce, whether you like him, whether you love him or you hate him, always seems to be able to pull something out of the bag. So I've gone for Newcastle 2, Everton 2. And up in United, opposite in Manchester, shall I say, United v Arsenal, I've gone for 0-0. A bit of a drab game. I think Arsenal will go up there and defend. I think they'll sit back and they'll try and hit them on the counter. I don't think United will fall for it. I think they'll be a little bit cautious. I don't think anyone's going to want to pull any punches. I don't think anyone's going to want to go for the haymaker. And I think because of that, it's going to be a bit of a drab game. So, you've seen United-Chelsea at the weekend. I think we're going to see a very similar type of game there. Apart from Arsenal will be very, very defensive. And they will go for there for the point. And I just think United will struggle to break them down. Over to you now.
No, I agree. Actually, I've gone for 1-1. I think we saw it against Leicester the other night, Arsenal. It seems when they have to come out and play, they seem to lack ideas. When a team sits back against them, they seem to lack the the guile to break them down. Whereas their recent success, you think back to the FA Cup and the Charity Shield, have been when they've been able to sit back and wait for opportunities to counter. So I think that'll definitely be the game plan at Old Trafford at the weekend. Whether it will bear any fruit, I'm not sure. Manchester United were involved in a 0-0 draw with Chelsea as well at the weekend because they're still, licking their wounds after getting tonked 6-1. So I think they're still defensively very, very mindful, especially at home. They will not want to be conceding lots of goals at home again. It was an embarrassment against Spurs a few weeks ago. They'll be trying to avoid that at all costs. I think, like you said, no one's going to go in there swinging haymakers. It'll be a battle of the jabs. And I think it'll end up Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1. Moving down into London, it's Tottenham versus Brighton, and I've gone for a 4-2 win to Tottenham. Now, I believe aesthetically on the eye, this will probably be one of the most pleasing games of the weekend. Two teams who play good football and attack really well. I mean, Harry Kane and Son are just in it. Harry Kane and Son are just insane at the moment. Every time they play, they seem like they're going to set each other up, get a couple each. I mean, Heung-min Son was the difference last night in a win for them away at Burnley. Yeah, it's only Burnley, but they've gone to a tough place to go on a cold Monday night and done the job. That's a good sign of their character. So, yeah, Tottenham for Brighton too. Brighton, I can see them creating chances. They always play nice football. They always create chances, but I can just see them being out-punched, overpowered, really, in the forward-thinking areas by Tottenham. So, yeah, Tottenham for Brighton too.
Yeah, I've gone for Spurs 3, Brighton 0. And I'm sorry, Brighton fans. I've tried to back you every single week, but I think my patience is weared thin. I can't get Brighton. They play some great football. They create chances, but whether this is luck or not, I'm not sure. They just can never seem to put the ball in the back of the net. And when they do, they can't seem to kill games off. And I just think they'll go up to Spurs, and Spurs will just blow them away. I think they'll try and play open, which may fall into Spurs' hands. You've only got to look at when we did that at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium last year, and they completely killed us on the counter-attack. And I think Spurs might do something very similar. Brighton, they may nick one. You might be right with your prediction. I just think they create chances, but they just can't seem to score them. So I think it'll be a comfortable afternoon for Spurs. So I've gone for Tottenham Hotspur 3, Brighton 0. And then the other London team is hosting West Bromwich Albion, which is Fulham. And I've gone for 1-1. Again, a game that's going to lack quality. And I've said this every week when we spoke about Fulham. There's something about them that I just can't. They don't look like a Premier League team to me. I know Scotty Parker's English, no. and we want him to do well as an English manager, young manager. But Fulham they don't seem to have anything about them. Now, whether that stems from the manager or whether it's purely just the ability in the squad, I'm not sure. West Brom, on the other hand, have not started well at all. Not too bad going forward. Strengthened a little bit defensively bringing Ivanovic in, but I still don't think they're good enough as of yet to really compete. And I think it will just be one of them games where, again, neither side's not going to want to lose. So I think it's going to be a tight, scrappy, poor quality 1-1. Over to you now.
Yeah, well, I've actually gone for Fulham 3, West Brom 2, and I think this is more out of hope, really, than expectation. You mentioned how we look on Fulham every week, and we kind of want Scotty Parker to have a bit of a coming out party in the Premier League, being young and English. Obviously, did a good job to get Fulham promoted. I have gone for 3-2, but my logic for that is based off really what I'm hoping for rather than what I expect. So let me tell you what I'm hoping for. So I'm hoping that they'll come out, attacking football, because West Brom, because they always say you need to break the Premier League down into mini leagues, and you need to beat the teams around you if you're going to stay up. What's going on in the top 4 and the top 6, or even the top 10 shouldn't really bother Fulham. It's the teams around them they've got to beat. These are the big 6-pointers. So if Fulham can't get up for this, they'll be in serious trouble. I think they will get up for it. I think Scotty Parker will, get into them, and I can see Mitrovic being unplayable because on his day he can be. There is a worry defensively about Fulham, and Loftus-Cheek, he's a good player. He is a good player. He proved it at Chelsea, proved it at Palace a few years ago. I think there are things there that can go well for Fulham, but it's going to be tough. West Brom, on the other hand, coming off the back, I think, of 2 0-0 draws. I mean, they play 5 at the back. They're very negative. Like you said, they bought in Carl Ahern Grant, a striker from Huddersfield, a championship striker as a source of goals. They're going to, I don't think that's going to bear too many fruit for them. And like I said, Ivanovic, probably sums up what kind of team West Brom are at the moment. They're trying to be solid, trying to stay in games, and they're trying to nick goals on the counter-attack. But I just don't know if they have the necessary quality on the counter-attack to really land enough punches. So maybe 3-2 is a bit ambitious, but I'm hoping Scotty Parker can, get his first win over the line. And then moving on to the final game of the week, and it just so happens to be our beloved Leicester City away in Yorkshire at Marcelo Bielsa's Leeds. As per negative Nigel over here has gone for a 1-0 defeat. after doing a Brendan Rodgers masterclass at Arsenal. A masterclass that I must say that I was spitting feathers about until we scored because I thought we were being too negative. But that's I think that's just football fans in general. You see your team looks like they're hanging on. It might be a game plan, but it's still
Yeah.
not fun to watch. You're always going to be shitting yourself until you grab the goal or the final whistle goes. That's the only time. That's the only time you tend to enjoy those kind of games is when the final whistle actually goes. Well, my logic for this one is now Leicester have got a Europa League game on Thursday away in Athens, Greece, AEK Athens, and it's going to be a tough game. We're going to be in for a bit of a slog. I think Athens are unbeaten in something like 11 Europa League games or something. I think we'll win, but it's going to be tough. It's going to take a lot out of us, along with the travelling. And then we're going to Leeds, and you've seen what Leeds are like. I mean, they might lack a bit of quality, but they're like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog with concussion, just buzzing around constantly, just buzz around, working hard for each other, work rate. They are. It's renowned for it. Bielsa's teams are very, very, aggressive in the press. The energy levels are superb. The fitness levels are exemplary, and it's going to be a very tough game for us in that respect. And I just think they might have a bit too much energy. Let's put it that way, because our squad's thin at the moment, and we have got a lot of games. I just think they might have a bit too much energy, buoyed by a good win last week. I can just see them nicking a 1-0.
Yeah, I've gone for 1-1. And to be honest with you, that I've gone with my heart there. I've not gone with what I would like. I've gone purely on what I genuinely think will be the outcome, which is not normally the case where Leicester's concerned. I think you're right. The Europa League game is going to be tough. A bit of travelling. The squad's a bit thin at the moment with injuries. Leeds are a good side. They're proving that so far this season. I know it's early doors, we're only 5 or 6 games in, but they are so far looking like a capable Premier League side. Having said that, since Fofana is coming into that back four for Leicester, we have looked so much better defensively.
Yeah.
Whatever system Brendan decides to play, I don't think we'll see a similar system as to what he played at Arsenal. But I think we'll go there. It's going to be a graft. They're going to be busy Leeds. I think they'll probably let us have a lot of the ball. I think they'll open the scoring, and I think we'll then equalise. And I think we'll both be happy with a point. Leeds going away to Leeds at this period of the season when they've got the momentum, when they're playing the way they are, and we've got Europa League to contend with. I think a point. I think most Leicester fans will be happy with, considering we thought we'd get 0 out of the 2 away games that was Arsenal and Leeds. So I've gone for Leeds 1, Leicester 1, and that wraps up game week 7's score predictions for the Premier League. As always, don't hesitate to post in the comments with your predictions. Let us know whether we're right, wrong, whether we've had a head loss. If it's your side, let us know. But also give us a like, and as always, please subscribe. As for now, take care.